Welcome to the CBS Eye on Money Show. It's Thursday, October 6th, and we are here answering financial questions for you. Good day, Mr. Talercio. How are you?
Buongiorno. I'm good. I am well. I'm well. How are you?
I am doing quite well. You're now at the end of Theo's extended Jewish holiday break from the New York City school system, so you must be thrilled to have every day back in school.
Yeah, not quite, though. This is like 3 or 4 weeks in a row where there's at least one day off for, the Jewish holidays, Columbus Day. There's something. Seems like there's something every week.
Oh, that's a shame for you. You know, I was thinking about you when we talked to that guy who was like, oh, we're homeschooling our kids. And you had the funniest reaction. You're like, oh.
Oh, my God. That sounds so horrible.
I know. Well, these people are very dedicated. You're obviously not. You're just, you are like looking for the escape hatch. Can school start at age 3? Is that possible? Yeah. You're in. You're all in. If you have a financial question or some parenting advice for Mark, then you can go to our website. It's jillonmoney.com. You can click on the Contact Us button. Now, very exciting. Now we have a new button that is next door to the Contact Us button. So if you go to the front door of the website, it says Contact Us on the upper right-hand corner. And just to the right of that, it says Take Poll. Would you please take our poll? It is only 2 questions. That's it. Okay? Promise. It's not hard. So today, let's talk to Jean. She is on the line from Upstate New York. So what's going on upstate? How'd you land there? Are you a native?
No. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I was spent about 10 years, most of my 20s in Brooklyn, New York. And then my partner and I kind of accidentally bought an old farmhouse up here about 5 years ago.
Wait a minute. What do you mean accidentally? How did this happen?
We were actually originally looking at properties in Puerto Rico, and that kind of fell through. And then I just had some friends and colleagues buy second homes up in this area. And so we were just looking and we found an old place that was on the market for way too long. And we were like, let's just put in a really, really low offer. And they just took it. So,
okay. What was the offer and what year are we talking so we can get a little understanding of this?
This is pre-pandemic. It's the end of 2017. It was an old farmhouse. It'd been on and off the market. It's like 20 acres. And the guy was crazy. He was trying to get like 400,000 for it, 450. And I think it was listed at about 250 when we were looking at it. And we just were like, let's offer 200 and see what happens. And they just took it. We thought they would say no, and we'd come back later in the summer, but no, he wanted to unload it. So
that's amazing. And did you buy that with a mortgage?
We did buy it with a mortgage. We put 20% down right away. We actually opted for the 15-year mortgage. And so we only have about 110,000 left at 3.65%.
You love this house? You like this house? Like, what do you think?
We do. I mean, it's been a troublemaker for us. We actually had some emergency things happen over the summer, but we really do love it. We have no.
What do you think it's worth now? I mean, obviously, 200,000 was an amazing price. The market booms amid the pandemic. Flee from New York City, upstate. So, what do you think it's worth now?
It's hard to tell. Our Zestimate, which you can never really rely on, I think is like 360 right now. But our realtor who sold it to us also told us that he could probably sell it for 425 or 450. Whoa. Like this was, again, like at the height of the pandemic when everyone was leaving. So I want to say like 375.
Okay, fair enough. And you're staying there anyway. You're not selling it, right?
We are definitely staying here.
Okay. And are you working full-time, Jean?
I am not. I'm working part-time from home. That's been my work history for quite a while. But I do have a small toddler at home. So I work part-time from home. My partner works full-time from home, which is great. So no childcare expenses.
Oh, that's good. Okay. How much do you earn and how much does your partner earn?
I think when I wrote the email, I think I had said 35,000, but as I was reviewing 2022, I'm closer to 40,000.
Okay.
I work part-time as an employee of a company. Through them, I make about $30K. And then I have some bookkeeping clients on the side that I bill about $8,000 to $10,000 a year for.
Okay, great. And because you're at that company, the 30 grand, can you make retirement contributions through them, or do you have your own retirement plan? Are you 1099 or W-2, or how do you work it?
A little bit of both. I'm a W-2 employee for this company, and I am eligible for their retirement plan. I currently contribute 10% of my income, and I have a 3% company match. And then I do have personal IRAs, which I have been maxing out the last few years, but have been contributing little bits since my early 20s.
Got it. And is that when you make contributions, is it a Roth IRA or a traditional?
I have been doing both. I've been splitting about half and half. So I've been doing 3,000 to the Roth and 3,000 to my traditional.
All right. That's great. Now tell us about partner who is working full time. What does partner earn?
He makes 80,000 a year, and all of the benefits are through him. So great health insurance. He has his personal retirement. I think he's just doing the matching right now, which I believe is 4%. And similarly has his personal IRAs as well.
And the toddler you said is how old? Like a year, 14 months, 15 months?
15 months today.
All right.
He's a little guy.
Okay. Right now in your retirement accounts, you want to give us a little rundown on what you've saved so far?
Sure. So in my Roth IRAs, I do have two. I have 35K in my Roth. In my traditional, I have 18,000. My emergency fund is at 33,000. And then I have some taxable investing accounts that are about 12,000 currently. Okay. I have a simple IRA through my company, and that's pretty small. I just started that last year, so that has about 3,000 in it.
You keep saying do you guys keep your money separate?
We do. We split our household expenses about 60-40. So we just contribute to our joint accounts. And that's for all of our, our mortgage, our just household expenses. But we do keep long-term finances separate.
Okay. And are you guys actually married or by law or just partnered? I shouldn't say just partnered. Or are you partnered? Not just. Because both have merit.
Right. We are not married, but we do have a domestic partnership through New York City, which is very strange in New York State. Apparently, it's only recognized in New York City, Rochester, and Buffalo, I believe. It's not a statewide binding partnership.
Okay. Any plans to get married?
It's always kind of been on the table, but no immediate plans.
Do you want to tell me about partners' long-term savings, or is this just on you? Like, you tell me how you want to tell me the rest of your story.
It's kind of just on me. I feel like we've both just taken our personal future finances into account for ourselves and haven't. I'm also not fully. I'm not 100% on how much he has stocked away for his retirement. Okay,
I got you. So tell us what. And last question. I'm sorry. How old are you?
I'm 37.
Okay. So what do you want to know right now? What's your main question?
All things considered, I don't really have any plans changing in terms of, work history or availability in the coming, especially in the coming 5 years. And I'm curious if all things kind of stay the same and I continue making about what I make or maybe slightly more and contribute the way that I'm contributing to my retirement plans, what I can kind of expect from my portfolio and what that would translate to in terms of any type of retirement income.
Got it. Anything else that we need to know about in terms of your financial situation?
The only thing I can think of, and I did think about this after I emailed you guys initially, I do come from a very large, pretty well-off family.
Wait a second.
Millions of dollars.
FYI, I love those kinds of families. I don't really care about the size, but the well-off part is definitely helpful.
And it's not crazy. It's just that everyone does really well. So I have lots of aunts and uncles, quite a few that didn't have any kids and do very well for themselves. It's a very close-knit, big family. So I can expect some type of funds. I have no idea how much, and I have no idea when those will come in. And I try to think of my own financial future without that. Like that would just be kind of a
icing
bonus
on the
at the time.
Yep. Yes. I got it.
Yes.
And plans for any other kids?
Most likely, yes. We are hoping to be pregnant the next 6 months to a year.
Do you guys have life insurance for, to cover one another?
We do. I actually have a $1 million policy that I purchased many years ago when I was a business owner, and my partner has, I think, $300,000 through his work.
He is underinsured. Mark, do you agree with that? I mean, he's making a lot of the money. We got to get him some insurance.
Yes, I have, suggested that a few times.
If he drops dead, you're screwed. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's your risk right now.
Yep.
Okay. What about wills and things like that?
That we do not have. That we definitely need to get on top of.
Yeah, well, who's going to take care of the kid? I mean, you want the state to decide?
And your assets move in a very odd way because your partner has no claim to those assets. So, in other words, it could be that your very wealthy family is like, hey, thanks for that 80 grand a year. You're out. Do you have him as the beneficiary of your retirement accounts?
I believe I have him as the beneficiary to 2 of those accounts.
More importantly, I want you to be the beneficiary of his account. I don't really care where you leave your money.
Yeah.
Anyway, because you're not legally bound with the marriage covenant, it does put this extra layer of work that would have to be done if there were an unexpected death. And it is true, Mark is right, that when you're not legally married, anything that doesn't pass by contract goes by this very strange state formula. So it may be that like the money might go half to your siblings and half to your kid, and then he gets nothing. But same way the other way around, which is not great. So we just want you to identify that as an issue and address it. Notice how we have not even talked about your retirement planning yet. This is all like way down the road. Okay, so now, Mark, how is Jean doing on the retirement front?
I mean, she's doing well. She's doing what she can do. I was just running the numbers. She basically has about a total of, all things in right now, about 75 grand. And she's contributing about $10,000 a year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, considering that you're not making a ton of money. But if you kept doing that for the next 25 plus years, you're going to end up at the end of the day, you're going to have a big chunk of money come retirement. So, and I'm guessing your expenses right now are very, very low.
Very low. Very low.
And so the reality is you're on track. You're doing what you should be doing. Look, I'm a fan of keeping your money separate, but like considering you have a kid together, there are certain joint responsibilities you have to one another. Even if your relationship blew up, there are going to be real responsibilities. So I see that as the big risk right this second.
I feel like she needs to at least know what he has.
I agree. I'm so nosy. I'm like, well, what does he have? Why are we doing this? What's happened? And I'm very protective of you, obviously, because you're calling. If he called, I'd be like, what does she have? And I think that we need to understand that. And I think that, you can manage your money together, but if you imagine you're having a child together, you are looking at the future together, and you're moving forward as a couple. It's hard to just say I'm going to ignore whatever's in his name. So that's why I think it's important. But I think you are doing a great job on very minimal income. And I think that I think it's important just to kind of rank what are the issues that you need to address. You can only do what you can do if you're making $30,000 or $40,000 a year. 5 years from now, it could be that you have 2 kids that are in school and you're not making $40,000 a year, you're making $80,000 a year because you're working full-time from home. So, I think your life is going to change quite a bit in the next 5 or 8 years. And for what you are doing now, I think you're in very good shape. You're doing what you can do. There's only so much. You can't fictitiously create more income on which to contribute to other obligations. You just can't. I think you are in good shape. I do. And I agree with Mark. But you have to pinky swear with us that you're going to deal with this life insurance and the estate docs.
I've got it. I've got my list in front of me.
Keep doing what you're doing. Good luck. Go get yourself some life insurance. If you, like Jean, need some assistance, some guidance, we'd love to help you out. Go to JillOnMoney.com. Write us a note. Check the box if you'd like to come on the air. Other fun things you can do on the website. You can sign up for our free weekly newsletter. And you can pre-order my upcoming release of the book. It's called The Great Money Reset. I'm very psyched for this, Mark. Check it out. You can pre-order The Great Money Reset. Take our poll. It's only 2 questions. I'm asking you to do quite a bit today. So one more thing. Do something nice for someone else today. That is something you should do. Mark Talasio is the co-host and the executive producer. We are distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Curiosity, compassion, community. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.